Hello, I'm Richard Moore, and I'm going to give you a little bit of my background and how I got into the business and my development in Moore Stephens. When I started, you may not believe this, but when I started to work, there were no computers. There were no mobile phones. The difference with technology is the speed of communication, the speed of expected response. And whereas before you'd get a letter and you'd look at it for 2 days and you might reply, now you get an email and you're expected to reply within a couple of hours. And that's good in that it helps the business develop and grow quicker, but it has its own problems because it creates risk. Instant response in our business can sometimes lead to mistakes, and therefore one has to be careful and build controls around how one uses technology. Okay, this is a little anecdote that I'd like to tell because it happened to me when I was very young and had to take responsibility. I'd gone to Hong Kong to deal with a difficult situation with a client, and when I got there it got even more difficult. They owned 2 container ships. Those container ships were on their way back to Hong Kong, but the business had run out of money and they owed money to various ports. We couldn't put the ships into port because they would be arrested if they went into port. But at that time, and I think at that age, it was quite a difficult situation to deal with. But we got through it, and I think the important thing was just to remain calm, to deal with people in a very straightforward manner, explain to them what the position was, and let them know that whatever happened, we were going to deal with it in the right way.
Es el comienzo de un nuevo día. Fue fundada en Londres en 1907 por Harold Moore y Albert Partridge, bajo el nombre Moore, Partridge & Co. En 1918 pasa a ser Moore Stephens con el ascenso a socio de John Robinson Stephens. En 1921 abre oficinas en Glasgow y en 1922 cruza las fronteras a Brasil. Desde 1927, Moore Stephens establece una fuerte relación con la industria naviera en Grecia y hoy es la firma número 1 especialista en esta industria. Contamos con profesionales disponibles y dispuestos, con un juicio responsable y competente. En Moore Stephens valoramos tus ideas, descubriendo horizontes e impulsando grandes y pequeños emprendimientos en el cambiante mundo económico de hoy. Caminamos a tu lado en tu crecimiento empresarial y tu crecimiento laboral.
The important thing is that whatever culture you're in, you still have to have the same basic integrity in everything that you do.
Contamos con personal capacitado y dispuesto a responder con compromiso y responsabilidad.
Ethics is very important because at the end of the day, it's your reputation, and a firm like ours depends entirely on its reputation, and we can't afford to be seen to not be totally ethical.
Nos apasionamos por lo que hacemos y fomentamos la integridad en grupos de trabajo receptivos y éticos.
The important thing is to understand the client, understand his business, understand what it is that concerns him, because if you do that, you can then show that you can provide added value to what he is doing.
Moore Stephens te abre las puertas a una larga y sólida carrera.
I think what I want to say is listen to experienced people. Don't necessarily be totally swayed by them, because it's important that you follow your own enthusiasm. But again, it's a question of listening, communicating, understanding, and being part of a team, because it's the experience and the new enthusiasm which will probably produce the best result.
Nuestra principal diferencia es la atención personalizada, con más de 100 años en el negocio.
Nowadays, much more of our work is done on a global basis. We have teams from different firms around the world working together.
Nuestra visión es ser líder internacional en auditoría y consultoría. Nuestra misión es ser tu primera opción.
The biggest problems in business tend to come from lack of communication and people expecting other people to know what they already know. And sometimes technology itself is misused because people will communicate by email and will forget that actually sometimes the personal communication, even by telephone, is the best way to communicate with other people. And in the end of the day, that'll always hold you out in good stead, because people will then trust in you and believe in you. And the most important thing you can ever get is your client's trust. And if you have your client's trust, they will work with you and they will use you to help them develop their business.